All right, what is up, everybody? This is going to be fun. Today we're going to talk about the 5 weight loss rules that you do not have to follow to go and hit your goals, all right? So let's start off with rule number 1. Rule number 1 is stop trying to give up everything, all right? And what I mean is there are all these diets, right, where they're telling you to eliminate an entire macronutrient, right? Like don't eat any carbs or don't eat any fat, or maybe they're telling you to give up an entire food group. Don't eat any meat, or don't eat any of this, or don't eat any of that, okay? And here's the thing. There is no one way of eating that is the absolute correct way of eating for everybody. And there's no reason why you can't have a balance of all these different foods, provided you enjoy them and they're whole and nutritious, right? So there's really no reason to eliminate an entire group. And so right now it's really popular to eliminate all carbs, or take in so few carbs that you go into, ketogenesis or whatever it is you want. But the fact of the matter is, you do not need to be on the ketogenic diet to lose weight if that isn't the way that you want to do it. So don't do it just because somebody else loves it and tells you that's what you have to do. Do it because that's what makes you happy. Same thing with becoming a vegetarian or a vegan. Just because somebody you know has lost a lot of weight because they're a vegetarian or a vegan, and they tell you that's what you need to do, unless you truly never want to eat any burgers again, don't do that. Because you don't have to do that to lose weight. And don't get me started on this whole fat thing. Fat is absolutely critical to our diets. And I've seen people talk about, well, you just got to eliminate all fat. Well, that is insane. And I'll tell you, I don't know if you guys ever heard that story about the whole rabbit starvation thing. And, well, it's a long time ago, but suffice to say, a bunch of people were eating rabbits and they died, right? Even though they were eating food. And the fact of the matter is, if you're not getting in the dietary fat you need, that isn't healthy either. All right, so it isn't that carbs are bad, or fat's bad, or meat's bad, or any of that stuff is bad. It's all about a balance. And you pick what is right for you, not what somebody else is telling you you need to do to lose weight. All right, so rule number 2. You must eat small meals all day long to lose weight. All right, I get this a lot. Listen, they say I gotta eat 5 meals, I gotta eat 6 meals a day. Listen, if you're a busy professional, a lot of times as busy professionals, do we not even have time to eat 1 or 2 meals a day, much less 5 or 6? And then if we can't eat those 5 or 6 meals, are we now failing? It does not make any difference in the scheme of things as far as weight loss is concerned, how many times you eat. If it's more convenient for you to eat 2 meals a day, then eat 2 meals a day. What's most important is the total amount of energy consumed versus the total amount of energy burned. That is what the most important deal is. All right, so if you're going to eat, let's say 2,000 calories in 6 meals or 2,000 calories in 2 meals, that's fine. But if over the 6 meals instead you eat 5,000 calories, you're going to have an issue, all right, unless you're burning those 5,000 calories. All right, that's the way that it works. So again, this goes back to focusing on what works for you. Maybe you're doing intermittent fasting. If you're doing intermittent fasting, you are obviously not going to be eating 5 or 6 meals throughout the course of the day. Maybe you eat 5 or 6 meals in the 5 or 6 or 8 hour window you eat. That's fine, all right? But you don't have to eat a bunch of small meals throughout the day if that doesn't fit your lifestyle and if that isn't the way that you want to eat. You don't have to do that to lose weight. Now let's go into rule number 3. Don't eat before bedtime. How many times have we heard this? And I talk to people all the time, they tell me, listen, the reason I've gained all this weight is because I just can't stop eating right before I go to bed, right? Like, that's the big difference. The fact of the matter is, people, that just because you eat before you go to bed, that is not the reason you're heavy. I love to eat right before I go to bed. That's completely fine. You can eat up until the point your head hits the pillow, so long as you are, again, consuming less calories, less nutrition, less energy than you are burning. That is what makes a difference. Now, here's where there is a problem for a lot of people when they do eat late at night or before they go to bed. And it's not because they are eating, it is because of the food choices they make when it is late at night before they go to bed. Because what happens to us as it gets later in the evening? Well, we start making poor food choices. Our willpower is a little sapped, we're a little tired, maybe we get a little bit hungry, and we just want to eat something that's satisfying at that point. And so we start to make some food choices we probably wouldn't have made earlier in the day when we're a little bit fresher. Now, that can be a detriment to weight loss 100%. but it isn't that you're choosing to eat right before you go to bed. All right, so you don't have to worry about that. You need to worry about the total amount of energy consumed versus the total amount of energy burned. That's what you need to focus on. Now let's talk about the rule number 4. Did I do 4 right? Rule number 4. Cardio is the best way to lose fat. Now here's a fact. Cardio is a great way to burn fat. Nobody's ever going to challenge that, okay? Because when you do a steady state cardio, like you're on the treadmill, you're on the bike or something like that, what you are doing is you are tapping into your fat stores. When you're on there, it starts tapping into your fat stores to use energy. All right, that works. That's true. However, it is not the best long-term strategy for losing the fat and keeping the fat off your body. Why? Because cardio does very little to develop your muscle mass. Does very little to build your muscle mass. In fact, depending upon how much you're doing, how aggressive you are, it can actually cause you to lose muscle mass. So what happens when you lose muscle mass? Well, your metabolism slows down. So, since now you have a slower metabolism, what do you have to do to now keep the fat off? Well, you have to eat less and or do more cardio. All right, so that's a cycle you don't want to get into. The way to get your metabolism to speed up and stay sped up is instead of just doing cardio, you need to prioritize strength training. You prioritize strength training, and that will make all the difference. Because as you build that muscle mass, what happens? Well, your metabolism goes up. So you get like the double whammy. You're burning calories while you're working out in the gym, building that muscle mass, and you're burning calories while you're resting and repairing those muscles, and you're burning calories because your muscles take calories just to exist. All right? So if you're going to exercise, please do cardio too. Cardio is an excellent part of a weight loss regimen. However, prioritize strength training. Rule number 5, you must do a strict diet to lose weight. So here's the thing. None of us are going to want to be on a strict diet for the rest of our lives. All right? Now, strict diets are very effective for short-term weight loss goals. The problem is that most of us hop on these strict diets and we do them for a short term. We may lose a little bit of weight, but the second we finish that strict diet, what happens? Well, we don't have a plan and we just gain that weight right back, right? So it's a much better idea, instead of only focusing on doing super strict diets to lose weight, instead focus on lifestyle changes to lose weight. Instead, determine how much nutrition, how much energy your body actually needs to function, and also, more importantly, to hit whatever health fitness goals you want. And once you determine that, do your best to give your body that, as opposed to trying to starve it cyclically and going over and over again, just starving and binging and starving and binging. It's a much better idea to figure out what sort of energy your body needs and then come up with a plan to slowly start to shed that weight but still hit your health and fitness goals. That makes a lot more sense, because that is something that is sustainable. That is something that you can do for 10, 20, 30 years. That's what you can do. These short-term things, a lot of times we keep on doing them over and over and over again. So the best thing to do, hop off that hamster wheel, make the lifestyle change. You don't need to hop on a really strict, restrictive, crazy, nuts diet where you're miserable to lose the weight. All right? So there are my 5 weight loss rules that you can ignore and you can still go about losing your weight, having the health you want. Any questions, as always, guys, hit me up. Talk to you guys later.